Hey, in this video I want to go over a couple quick things. One, when we have circular parts and when we export them to STL files, a lot of times we'll get polygons as our exports. So if I export this, we end up getting a polygon. We don't want to do that. We want this to be as true as circle as possible. So when we do export it, we need to export and customize your export, so have that selected. That way we can change your chord height. Chord height needs to be set to 0. It's going to then change it to the smallest possible. Angle control should be 0 as well. So now when we do that, we get a real smooth part, as smooth as possible, and that's really what we want to achieve. So we want to make sure that both of those are set to 0. It's going to change the chord height to the smallest possible for this part. So we'll do that. The next thing I want to talk about is printing validation. So we're going to test our prints in Creo before we print it. So we'll go to the file menu, hit print, and then prepare for 3D printing. We can validate our parts. This is kind of like a simulation of the print bed. We can go ahead, you can arrange it on tray, you can move it around, but really what we want to do is validate our prints by printing validation. We can test thin walls and narrow gaps. So we can select thin wall validation, select the part, it gives you minimums. You can change these and we can compute. So the minimum wall thickness is at this location right here. It's saying that it's 1.2699 millimeters. It does not violate this 0.7 with a tolerance 0.07 test. So this part is good. For thin walls, we can also check narrow gaps. Select the part. Gives you a minimum of 0.2 for the gap or tolerance 0.02. We can compute. The smallest gap is from here to here. It's saying that it's 3.19500 millimeters, so it does not violate, so this is good as well. So we can do those quick tests before we send in STL files and print, just to double check to make sure everything validates and goes correctly before we print.